What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here with another video, and I gotta say, Disney surprised me. I honestly didn't think they were going to do it. I didn't think they were going to spend the time and energy and possibly issue out the checks or threaten to take away access to the shill media to get them to shill for Snow White. But apparently they did. I honestly thought they had given up on the project, but they haven't given up to the point where they're not going to call in the shills to shill for them. Because the initial reviews on social media for Snow White are in, and they are surprisingly, glowingly positive. I mean, the people reviewing this film, they got brown on their nose darker than the brown skin of Rachel Zegler. They are slobbering the knob of Disney hard on these reviews. Listen to some of them. Rachel Zegler is a shining supernova in Snow White, beautifully embodying the graceful, gentle nature of the OG Disney princess. Also, I don't know if you know this, or especially this reviewer knows this, but a supernova is an exploding, dying star. So if they're trying to say that Rachel Zegler's career is like an exploding, dying star in this movie, that I can believe. It's a visual feast. Visual feast. Yeah, when's the last time you described something as a visual feast? Very in tune with the people here. With show-stopping new musical numbers and of course dozens of enchanting animated animals. You mean the mind-numbingly amount of CG in this film, a lot of it ugly CG, and the new musical numbers in which, from what I heard, the prince is essentially telling Snow White that she's a spoiled princess. Sorry, he's not actually a prince, he's the leader of the bandits or something, I don't freaking know. And I heard Gal Gadot sing, which, yikes. I always thought she was a terrible actress, but now I learned that she's a terrible singer too. The biggest surprise of 2025 is that the most controversial and most hated film of the year is actually a decent live-action remake. Nobody believes that. We've seen it with our own eyes. Every trailer has been ratioed because the people saw what they saw and didn't like it. On top of all the really controversial stuff that Rachel Zegler has said. I may regret saying this, but Snow White is solid. Trust me, you're gonna regret it. Because in history, people are going to look at this film and what a terrible, awful film that it was. See your gaslighting tweets that go along with it and laugh at you. By the way, all these people here reviewing the film, they're either working for mainstream media publications or used to work for mainstream media publications. Zegler was great in the lead role and Gadot was fun. Well, it's hard for me to believe that first part. It's even more difficult for me to believe that second part. Because nothing about Gal Gadot screams fun. It screams incredibly attractive woman that would have had a great modeling career, but not good acting and fun. Despite becoming an internet punching bag, Disney's remake of Snow White is actually mostly successful. Rachel Zegler is an absolute star. The new songs are catchy and beautifully performed. No, they're not. I've heard them. The visual palette is sumptuous and vibrant. Who talks like this? Again, nobody describes movies like this. By the way, I don't need the background green screen to be visually sumptuous and vibrant. I saw the background in the trailers. It looked honestly like it was going to hurt my eyes looking at it for a long time. Gal Gadot had beautiful gowns. Okay. Maybe he just ran out of like characters there. I don't know. Or he was just that taken aback about how beautiful the dresses were on Gal Gadot. Again, probably the best feature of her in the movie because that's really what she is. She's a model. And full publications are also doing this whole gaslighting trick too, saying Snow White Backlash Brigade isn't going to like this. And the whole article is just the writer trying to gaslight us into saying that, oh, it was all in our head the whole time and the movie is actually pretty good. No, we saw the trailers. We saw the stuff that's supposed to entice us to come see the movie. And it looked bad and people downvoted it massively. It stuns me. It stuns me. I'm literally stun-locked here. That Disney, they still have their shills shilling for them. I don't know if they actually paid all these reviewers. I have a strong feeling they did. I have no idea whether or not they threatened to deny people access to Disney if they wouldn't give it positive reviews. Again, I have a strong feeling that they did. But I do know what I saw with my own eyes and heard with my own ears. And it was not what these reviewers are describing what they saw on screen. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not reality. Keep in mind, these are the same people that are still to this day trying to gaslight us into saying that Captain America Brave New World is apparently a financial success when the movie had a budget of well over $300 million. In fact, just a few days ago, they spammed us with another round of these posts that you've probably all seen on X. From the Hollywood Handle, Captain America Brave New World crossed $388 million globally. The film had a budget of $180 million. Not true, as we know. Here's another one. Captain America Brave New World has grossed over $388 million at the worldwide box office. The film had a budget of $180 million. Again, not true. They literally tried to take somebody else's homework and make it look like it's not theirs. They copied and pasted the exact same post. Here's Cosmic Marvel doing the exact same thing. Captain America Brave New World has grossed over $388 million at the worldwide box office. The film had a budget of $180 million. They literally copy and pasted the last guy's posts. These are the same people, the same kind of scoopers that are trying to say that Snow White is a great movie. And they're going to be the same people, the same kind of pages, the same kind of reviewers that are going to try to shill and say the movie is a success when it ends up being an obvious financial failure. They're going to do the same thing to Snow White as they're trying to do to this movie right here. And what's funny is that these pages are also telling on themselves in the very next breath, because the very next day, Cosmic Marvel made this post in which they say Captain America Brave New World has passed Black Widow to become the 31st highest grossing MCU film. What a record to beat, guys. You beat Black Widow, famous for having this scene in it.
Don't do it! This was fun! No!
What a massive achievement, guys, to be ranked the 31st highest grossing MCU film. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, that's 31st out of technically 35 movies in the MCU. That is horrible. There are only 4 movies in the entire franchise that did worse than this one. Which, by the way, that means Black Widow was one of them. Now listen, we could be all wrong. The movie could actually be a visual feast with a sumptuous and vibrant color palette. Rachel Zegler could be amazing in the lead role. Gal Gadot, despite hearing her sing and watching her act, could have done a really good job playing the evil queen. All our eyes and all our ears could be wrong. But even then, this movie doesn't have a chance. Because there's a lot of people that just aren't going to see it because of all the controversial stuff Rachel Zegler said. Yes, the fact that she completely turns people off as a person. The fact that you had the whole controversy over including the dwarves and not hiring actual dwarf actors and doing ugly CGI dwarves apparently. That whole thing turned people off. The whole Israel versus Palestine political stuff, which I'm not going to get very deep into, between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. That whole idea turns people off. The thing is, even if this movie was good, even if it was mid, which I don't even think it's going to be that, it's probably what we think it is, which is terrible. It still wouldn't make money because people wouldn't go see it because they've decided already that the movie is bad. Whether it's because of controversy or political reasons, or the fact that they actually saw the trailer and heard the trailer and they thought it looked and sounded like a terrible movie, the majority of the audience have already weighed in their opinion, and it's bad. And maybe it has good word of mouth and some people are persuaded to go see it. I still don't think it will be enough to make up its over $300 million budget. Because whatever gaslighting they try to do on the budget for the film, because it's quite clear from what they're doing here with the acting of Rachel Zegler and everything else, they're going to do gaslighting about the budget of this film too. But the budget of this film was well north of $300 million because of all the massive reshoots again and the costly CGI budget. Even if this film has great word of mouth and a decent amount of people are persuaded to go see it, I still don't think it will make the gap that it has to make up for the budget, and it won't be profitable. We're basically arguing over whether this movie is going to be an all-time horrific disaster financially for Disney, and whether it's a normal horrific disaster for Disney. Again, Disney, from what I've heard of the insider reports, which is that they feel like they need to get this movie over with, that's the right attitude to take. Get this movie over with and try to move on to Lilo and Stitch as fast as possible, because that movie's probably going to be good and profitable for you. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave in the comments. If you like this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.